Good day, everybody. Today's battle is a total, complete random stranger from the internet. I was just, playing around. I was connected to the internet, I was doing some stuff, and this random passerby just challenges me to a battle. Of course I accept, so we'll see what he's all about. Up until this point, everyone who I had played, I had got the match from a message board or somewhere where I actually interacted with the person, so this was the first time it was just totally random from somebody who happened to see me online. So I look at his team and I notice a few things. I see an Alakazam, which I assume is his Mega, and up until this point I had never run into one of those, so we'll see what Mega Alakazam can do. I also see a Scizor and a Dragonite, solid Pokemon, and a Klefki, a Prankster user, pretty decent, good for setting some stuff up, and a Sylveon and a Barbaracle, which I had never run into, and I'm not really thinking that they're that great, but I could be wrong. But anyway, let's get on with the battle and see what he's got. So I don't really have a dedicated lead on my team, so I decided to start with Togekiss because I figure he's probably the most well-rounded thing I have. I can do damage to a lot of different things, and it's sufficiently bulky. So he leads with Sylveon, which is not going to take much damage from that Air Slash, but I do get lucky and I make it flinch, and it's just going to use Protect to try to get Leftovers Recovery on one more turn. So I decided to keep Togekiss in to maybe get some more damage in, though Protect is going to be a problem. But he does switch, and in comes Scizor, which is kind of a problem, but I decide to leave Togekiss in because I figure I can survive a Bullet Punch unless it's holding a Choice Band, and I might get lucky and it might Swords Dance, and it Bullet Punches me, and unfortunately it does kill me. So I kind of figure it's probably holding a Choice Band at this time, so I send out Gyarados, because I can get the Intimidate, lowering of his attack, and Bullet Punch is not going to do anything, as you'll see right here. So I figure he'll probably switch, but I figure it would be a safe turn to get a Dragon Dance in, so I do that. And now I think he's bound to see how little damage that did, so he's probably going to switch, so I use Taunt, but he stays in and keeps Bullet Punching. I have no idea why. This is probably his biggest mistake of the whole match, because you don't want a Gyarados setting up, and you don't want to leave your Scizor out for Death Fodder. But he's going to let me get in yet another Dragon Dance, and the reason I didn't Mega Evolve on this turn, or before this, is because I thought he might bring something in that my Gyarados doesn't want to go toe-to-toe with, and I might need to bring Gyarados back out to get another Intimidate boost at a later time. But I do Mega Evolve, and sure enough it stays in and Bullet Punches again, but a Waterfall is going to sufficiently take care of it. Alright, so now that that guy's out the way, I'm feeling a little bit better now, because one of the biggest threats on his team is taken care of. And he sends out Klefki, and I know it's going to take a few turns to set up screens. It starts off with Reflect, which is good because Gyarados is physical, and normally I would use Taunt on it, but I don't want this Klefki alive longer than it needs to be. I don't want to take the chance of it being able to set up spikes later, being able to set up more screens later, so I decided to take 2 turns to kill it, instead of taunting it and limiting its capabilities. So Klefki is down, and it's probably for the best. Now he goes to Barbaracle, which I had totally forgotten what type it was, and I use Waterfall. It turns out it is Rock and Water type, so it only does neutral damage, and an Earthquake would have been a much better choice, but it really doesn't matter. Whatever he hits me with, it crits, but doesn't do hardly enough damage, and he shows that he's holding a Life Orb, and an Earthquake will easily take care of him on this turn. And all this could have been avoided if he would have just switched his Scizor out. So now out comes Dragonite, and this is probably what he should have switched in even before Klefki, because Waterfall is not going to be very effective, but does an obscene amount of damage. I got really lucky with that crit, and sure enough, his Dragonite is going to finish off my Gyarados. So good work, Gyarados. You definitely pulled your weight this match. So I send in Chestnut, which is the closest thing I have to a physical wall on my team. And he assumes I'm going to use Leech Seed or something like that and decides to take the turn to Dragon Dance. And I go straight for the kill. I go for a Stone Edge, but unfortunately it misses. Sometimes that 80% accuracy really comes back to bite you. And it uses Fire Punch, which is not something I wanted to see, and it burns me, which is even more something I don't want to see. And Stone Edge misses again, twice in a row. Now what can you really do? That's the nature of Pokemon. So I know I want to keep my Chestnut alive for Death Fodder later, because it's pretty much crippled now. So I switch in Tentacruel because I know he's going to use Fire Punch again. And I get really unlucky again, and Tentacruel gets burned. I think that's only a 10% chance per attack, so he got really lucky with that, burning 2 of my Pokemon in a row. But his Reflect is gone, and his Light Screen will be gone the next turn. And I figure he's going to Earthquake because I know he has it, so I bring in Gengar. And sure enough, he uses Earthquake and doesn't hit him. Now his Light Screen is gone, and I know he's still going to outrun, and I think I really just kept Gengar in as Death Fodder so I could safely bring in Scizor. And I don't know how the Fire Punch didn't kill my Gengar. So Gengar finishes off the Dragonite pretty easily with a Sludge Bomb, and it's about to die. Now out comes the Alakazam that I was kind of fearing because I know it's going to outrun me. Alakazam is very fast, Mega Alakazam is even faster. But it's modest nature from what I can tell, and after it traces my ability, my Gengar actually goes first, and you can pretty much poke Alakazam and it'll die. I was really shocked. The only reason I kept Gengar in is because I figured I wanted to get Scizor in safely and just use Bullet Punch against Mega Alakazam. I was not expecting to outrun it and kill it so easily. So now he's down to just his Sylveon, and it would have been nice if Sludge Bomb would have poisoned his Sylveon and ended it right here. But unfortunately Gengar dies due to Life Orb recoil. But Gengar, you sure did work. So now he's down to his last Pokemon, and it's a Fairy type, and I have Scizor. This battle is pretty much over. It just used Wish on the last turn, so I know it's going to use Protect this turn to get the free Wish. So I don't even bother going for the attack, I just use Swords Dance to get my attack up. Because why not? Just because I can. Just to show, I know what you're going to do, I'm just going to take advantage of that. So now with +2 to attack, 1 Bullet Punch should easily end this in my favor. And sure enough, there goes all of Sylveon's HP. So what did we learn this fight? Don't let Gyarados set up. Don't let anything get multiple Dragon Dances if you can help it. Other than that, it was a fun match, and I had fun playing it, and that's about all I gotta say. So, as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.